The Aprilia Super Team Championship brings us to Cadwell Park. Can Lewis Rollo wrap up the championship in the penultimate round? This is GP Racing Dream.
Welcome then to Cadwell Park, and as Grace said, the penultimate round of the championship, and Lewis Rollo, the young Scotsman, looking to wrap up the championship and follow in the footsteps of previous Aprilia Super Team winners in the last 4 years at Thundersport GB, Joe Francis, Chrissy Rouse, Wayne Ryan and Fraser Rogers. And if you look to see what they've all gone on to do, then you can see this really is a championship worth winning. The likes of Casey Stoner, Cal Crutchlow, all winners of this championship in the past. And here we are at Cadwell, a number of riders looking to get themselves podiums for the first time, but that man in the centre, or the young man in the centre, number 8, Lewis Rollo, is the championship leader, but he doesn't get off to a very good start. That looks like number 97, Bradley Peary, that's gone off to the better start as they head into turn 1 here at Cadwell, a championship that follows the Thundersport GB championships around Great Britain, up, down into Park Corner, and what a move by Lewis Rollo. We overtook about 3 people into Park Corner, so they have been closing in on Lewis, you've got to say. As the season has progressed, they've been cutting that gap down. But, oh, and then we've lost a rider already. We've lost a rider, and I think that might be Gideon Thomas, number 67, a rider that's enjoyed a good weekend so far. He's not hurt, I don't think. He's just more upset than anything else. Gideon Thomas, that's a shame for him. Down into the gooseneck, and that does leave championship leader Lewis Rollo out at the front. Number 97, Bradley Peary, second. Zach Corduroy is back with us in 3rd place. And I believe that's number 95, Ross Simpson, up in the top 4 also. Into Hall Bends we go, and look at the lead that Lewis Rollo has got. This has just been utter domination from the youngster all season long. He's had 20 wins in 2012. It is just incredible. We haven't seen such a dominant performer in the Super Teams, well, certainly since I can remember. You think back to 2008, Fraser Rogers won the championship, went on to follow the 2009 champion into the Racing Steps Foundation squad that raced in Spain. 2010 winner Chrissy Rouse is doing very well for himself in British Championship. Joe Francis, you will have seen competing in the BSB 125s this year and has been improving and fighting for race wins. So, well, what lies ahead for Lewis Rollo? Of course, one of the great things about this championship for this year is there's a dangling carrot at the end of winning the Super Team Championship, because the winner does get offered the free ride into the 450s for next year. Now, the 450 Championship, also Aprilia based. You'll be able to see that on Motors TV in a couple of weeks' time. But that is some present and prize for the winner of this championship. Lewis Rollo it is, though. It looks as though it's going to go to him. Bradley Peary, second, number 97, ahead of Corduroy and Ross Simpson. The 4 or 5 riders following Rollo there. We're not really sure what they're up to next season. They'll either stay in the Super Teams or move on to the 450s. I know a number of riders have been looking to that 450 option. One of the great things about this class, you'll see riders wearing the orange bibs, the young riders here aged 12 to 18. That is to denote that they are newcomers to the sport. The bibs are donated by the Ben Gautry Foundation. And they have been helping these young riders out significantly with test days at Mallory Park recently, with tuition coming from Steve Brogan, and a couple of them have been testing the 450s out. Ian Newton and Meyer have been lending a hand, so we'll have to wait and see. There is number 7 and number 93, William Holland and William Keynes, gunning it out for top 10 finishers, but Lewis Rollo it is that leads this one ahead of Bradley Peary. Simpson moves up to 3rd ahead of Zach Corduroy now. Further back, we've got Milo Ward, number 41, trying to get himself in on the action. Joey Thompson, number 74, also doing well. And there goes number 7, William Keynes, up the inside of William Holland. And these riders will no doubt be contesting the series next year and will be improving dramatically. Lewis Rollo, though, looking for that 21st win. And he only needs, I think, a point here to secure the championship anyway. So either way, it looks as good as dead for everybody else. It's not going to happen for them. Lewis Rollo has just been a class above the rest of the field so far this season. He's rarely been tested. I mean, this is the 28th race. And to think that he's on his way to his 21st victory is absolutely incredible. Out of barn corner they come, and Lewis it is that still leads. There's a good battle now going on for second place. Peary, who looked to have it sewn up, has now got company in the form of Ross Simpson, Zach Corduroy, Milo Ward, and number 5, George Stanley, has now got in on the action. George Stanley, of course, currently 2nd overall in the championship. So that just goes to show that Lewis Rollo's title is surely going to be confirmed here. Just so smooth, rarely makes a mistake, does Lewis. Out of those 27 previous races, I should just add that he's been on the podium for 24 of them. So even when he's not winning, he's up there. There is number 93 and number 7 having a great battle here. William Holland and William Keynes up ahead of Reese Wilkes, a couple of places back, but they are looking good for top 12 or 13 place finishers. There's Zach Corduroy, number 22, who's managed to get ahead now of number 97, Bradley Peary. So Brad Peary has just lost out on a couple of places. Through Hall Bends comes Lewis Rollo. There is Milo Ward, number 41. Teammates last year, of course, with the eventual winner, Joe Francis, who won the championship and by about half a centimetre on the final race of the year against Tom Oliver, who's now in the 450 championships. Last lap flag is out, and it's really going to be just a battle for second place that we're looking at. Corduroy, Peary and Ross Simpson just managed to edge away slightly now from Milo Ward, and there's a couple of riders gone missing. Yes, there is George Stanley. Now, is that a mechanical or is that a fall from George? Certainly, well, I think there's scuffs on the levers. I think George has come off. A proper little character is George Stanley, and looking forward to seeing him on the 450 next year. I know that that's what's being lined up, and it looks like Brad Peary here might have just got himself second place, has he? Or is he falling into the clutches of Milo Ward? That's an odd one. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. But here comes Lewis Rollo now. He's had a big look over his shoulder, and it is Brad Peary just in the background there that's in second place. Around they come, over the mountain, still got time to wheelie. He's got such a huge lead, well over 3 seconds. And you have to take your hat off. He's done everything that's been asked of him so far this season. We knew he was something special when he approached the championship at the end of last season. But across the line he comes. The champion of 2012, Lewis Rollo, is the Aprilia Super Teens winner, ahead of Brad Peary in second, who looks like he's won a championship himself. He's delighted with that. And in third place for Ross Simpson. Confirmation there then. Rollo, the winner, the champion of 2012, ahead of Peary, Simpson, Corduroy, Milo Ward, Joey Thompson, Wheeler, Keynes, Holland and Reese Wilkes in the top 10. And there are the 3 young men on the rostrum, Rollo, Peary and Simpson. And in the newcomers, that championship going down to the wire, Peary, Simpson and Corduroy.
Zach Corduroy, 3rd in the Nitro newcomers. You were bringing up the back of the chasing pack for first. How did you find the race?
Well, it was hard because I had to get through them lot first, and on the last lap they got me, so close.
Do you think you can push for the second race?
Yeah, I'll try and beat them too again. Yeah.
3rd overall in the Aprilia Super Teens and 2nd in the Nitro newcomers, Ross Simpson. You were right in the middle of the chasing pack. How did you find it?
It's a hard race. We were just battling every corner. just like elbow to elbow kind of stuff. It's just really hard race. Glad I got 3rd overall, so it's good.
An excellent position. How do you like Cadwell?
Yeah, it's hard track. There's blind corners, some hard corners to get right sometimes, but I love the track. Yeah, it's good.
1st in the Nitro Newcomers and 2nd overall. Bradley Peary, a good result for you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's alright because Saturday we didn't have a good day. Everything went wrong that could possibly go wrong, and yeah, I got in a battle with Milo, Gideon, Ross, George, Zach, everybody, and I just thought last lap, come on, and I got him. I thought yes, and then once I got off the line I was like yes, finally.
And a good sort of battle similar in the championship as well.
Yeah, it's very close to the championship. I mean, I lost quite a lot of points on Saturday, but yeah, I think we're going to be quite good today. I think we're going to crawl a few more back.
1st in the race and also the new Aprilia Super Team 2012 champion, Lewis Rollo. How are you today?
Good. Yesterday we won the 1st race, and then the 2nd race Gideon nipped me on the last lap, but it was a good race. I learnt some of his lines, and then today I just improved on them and won the race by I think it was 3 seconds.
You're still keeping up the fight even though you've won the championship?
Well, we've been kind of careful watching points all year, but my dad and my coach just said go for it this time and see what lap times you can do and how far we can beat them by. So we went for it and we managed it, so it was good.
An excellent win, well done.
Can I thank my Uncle Duncan for helping me get all my bikes ready and just helping me work on them and everything, so thanks to him.
Well, as domestic Dave Jacks warms himself up, we're off for a quick break and we'll be back for race 2.
Moped, sports bikes, you save watts. Any bike, it makes no odds. We will give you what you need. Best price always guaranteed. Come to us and get a quote. You'll be singing note for note. Walk away with cash to spend on anything you want, my friend. Bike Insurer. Bike Insurer. Bike Insurer.
Get the cheapest bike insurance, guaranteed, only from the Bike Insurer.
Welcome back to Cadwell Park for race 2 of the Aprilia Super Teens, a championship for riders aged 12 to 18, and we have a champion crown. Number 8 there in the centre of your picture, Lewis Rollo, the young Scotsman, has wrapped up the title and follows in the footsteps of Casey Stoner, Cal Crutchlow, and more recently Fraser Rogers, Wayne Ryan, Chrissy Rouse and Joe Francis. And he's still going for race wins. He just wrapped up his 21st and we're off for race 2 here at Cadwell. A flying start from the second row from Bradley Peary, who finished 2nd in race 1. Zach Corduroy also off to a good start, the number 22 bike. And Lewis Rollo, I think, has managed to go up into turn 1 in 2nd place. And as they come down into Park Corner, Lewis Rollo leads, the champion, ahead of Peary, with Corduroy in 3rd. And that looks like George Stanley in 4th place. Number of riders getting themselves involved, ready to get themselves in the championship for next year. And, well, we should be hoping for a full grid of newcomers to the championship. There is a new rider out there at the moment, actually. We should just point out number 101, a welcome to the championship. His first weekend with Thundersport GB, Curtis Drew, number 101. He's out there enjoying himself and some pretty decent lap times, considering it's his first time with this group. But as it is, they come to the closing stages of lap 1, and it's Rollo from Peary, Corduroy, then number 67 Gideon Thomas, who fell on that opening lap in the gooseneck and has managed to complete more of the lap this time. Through Hall Bends they come. There is 67 Gideon Thomas. Gideon looking for his 4th podium of the year in this race. The green leathers going through there, and shot was George Stanley, number 5. But at the front it is Lewis Rollo, and you heard from him in the interview. A composed young rider, good head on young shoulders, and he's still trying to get out there and rack up as many points as possible. I'll have to have a cup of tea with Ian Newton and Myra and work out whether or not he's actually broken the record for most wins in a season in Aprilia Super Teen history, because I certainly can't think of anyone else that has a record like this in the history of this championship. It's always, or almost always, gone down to the final round in this series, but this year it's just been utter domination. It's going to be a close fight for second overall in the championship, though. George Stanley, Ross Simpson and Bradley Peary seem the riders that are going to go down to the final round with it all to play for to finish as the runner-up in the championship. And there is Peary there, number 97, in second, ahead of Gideon Thomas. And they have broken away considerably from Corduroy now. Up over the mountain they go. Lap record, incidentally, around here, a 1:43.9. They're quite a margin away from that. That was from Jake Dixon a couple of years ago. Bradley Peary, you heard from him, very happy to have got a decent finish to his name after a pretty bad Saturday here. As you look at number 43 there, it's Alex Platt. A couple of riders worth mentioning, and number 96, Connor Wheeler, is regularly finishing in the points now, which is encouraging in his first year on an Aprilia. And I'm going to also just congratulate number 74, Joey Thompson. His results, he's not featured too much in the top 5 or 6, but so consistent. He's finished pretty much every single race this season in the points. And that is the way to learn in this class. It is, of course, the learner class, the foundations for a career, hopefully, for some of these riders. And here comes 2 stars of the future, you might suspect. Number 67 going up the inside of 97. Gideon Thomas taking second place away from Bradley Peary. Neither of them can catch the irrepressible leader of this race, Lewis Rollo. And further back there, it's 58, Cameron Lee. And just coming up to be lapped there, number 93, that's William Holland, as Lewis Rollo goes into the mountain. You can see he is looking just so focused and still wants to take that 22nd win, his 25th podium in 29 races. I still can't quite get over that one. In through Hall Bends, this is the fight for second place, just going through the traffic between Bradley Peary and Ross Simpson, and the last lap flag comes out now. There's no catching Lewis Rollo. He is well on his way to win number 22 of 2012, but this fight is not over. Gideon Thomas there in second place, having a look over his shoulder, Keenan Sofuoglu style. I'm not in favour of that, because you do lose a lot of time. You could lose 2 or 3 tenths a lap just by doing that. Here's the newcomer that we were mentioning with the orange bib on, number 101, new to the class, Curtis True. 101 flies into Coppice Corner, looking to get himself a decent finish. He's up into 10th place at the moment. Now coming into second. Oh, look at that move there. Bradley Peary almost losing the front end as he tries to sneak into second on this final lap ahead of Gideon Thomas. But there doesn't look like they're stopping any stopping this man here, number 8, Lewis Rollo, from winning. Incidentally, those of you that are looking out at the marshals on the side of the track and thinking, I wouldn't mind being one of them, visit the Thundersport website, www.thundersportgb.com, and there's some download forms on there. Contact John Downs, the Chief Marshal, and you'll be able to join in the fun. But at the moment, the Aprilia Super Teen Championship, well, the winner may have been decided, but second place still very much up for grabs. And as the champion makes his way through Hall Bends for the final time this season, he's just got a couple of corners to deal with, and it'll be win number 22, and he will have racked up 669 points in the championship. And well, looks like he's going to be getting into the 700s by the time we get to Mallory Park, the final round in a couple of weeks' time. Out of the barn corner comes the champion. It's another win for Lewis Rollo. There ain't no stopping him. Fantastic stuff. 4.4 seconds his advantage over Gideon Thomas, who takes his 4th podium of the season. Bradley Peary takes 3rd. That's his 14th podium of the season. He's had the 2 wins this year. And then in the background there we've got Zach Corduroy that takes 4th place, Ross Simpson 5th, George Stanley in 6th, ahead of Milo Ward, Cameron Lee, number 58 in 8th, Joe Sheldon Shaw in 9th, and Curtis Drew, the newcomer, in 10th. There is the happy champion, Lewis Rollo in the middle with Gideon Thomas to the left and Brad Peary to the right. And the championship standings going into the final round. Look at that points difference Lewis Rollo has. George Stanley still in 2nd overall, but only just ahead of Bradley Peary. And the newcomers there, Gideon Thomas, Bradley Peary and Zach Corduroy. That is also close. 2 points now separate Bradley Peary and Ross Simpson as we head into Mallory.
Third position in the Nitro newcomers, Zach Corduroy. A good race for you there, 4th overall.
Yeah, on the wet tyres and dry, it's pretty slippy and that, so good race overall.
Difficult conditions. Do you like Cadwell Park?
Yeah, I like the jump mountain, this is awesome.
And are you looking forward to Mallory Park?
Yeah, bring it on.
Any sponsors to thank?
I like St Mirko, Thundersport, Aprilia and Dunlop.
Bradley Peary, 3rd in the Aprilia Super Teens and 2nd in the Nitro newcomers. You faced tough competition from Gideon.
Yeah, it's quite hard. I mean, like, because beginning before we set off, it was like damp, but no one knew what to do. So we thought, take a safe option, put wets in. Gideon had slicks, and it was the right decision for Gideon to do because it was bone dry out there. I mean, coming around the last corner, back end was pumping, and then it was backing in. I had quite a few moments, but yeah, glad to get 3rd.
Sounds like a tough race. Have you got any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bob Jackson for coming down with Psychic Allen, Brenda, Brian Gregg, Jackson's Motorcycles, and I want to like to celebrate my brother. He's just a little baby called Max, and did that race with my great nana who died 2 weeks ago in '96.
2nd in the Aprilia Super Teens and 1st in the Nitro newcomers, Gideon Thomas. 2 trophies, brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a really good weekend. Obviously, I got my first race win yesterday, and unfortunately, I crashed out the last race, but yeah, it was really good. Had a really good battle with Brad, passing every corner pretty much. Had to catch up with him again, and yeah, I did have slicks on, but the dry line was so thin, it was hard to stay on the track, but yeah, I managed it. And I just like to thank my sponsors, Daytona, AMI Direct, and my dad, Mark Hill, Dunlop, Aprilia, and Thundersport. And also, I'd like to thank, I'd like to shout out Jack Gregory. Good luck this weekend racing. And I'd like to also say thank you to Georgina and Zoe for being here for me.
An excellent race, thank you, Gideon. And pushing further, he's leading the championship, Lewis Rollo, 2012 champion. An excellent win again for you today.
Well, that race, most of us went out on wets, and on the warm-up lap we all noticed it was dry, and we were all like, is the tyres going to last? But luckily we put new wets on at the start of the race, so mine lasted longer than most people's old wets, so it was a good choice to put some new wets on for the race.
Excellent. And any sponsors you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank family, friends, all my sponsors, Top Scaffolding, Mike for building my engine, Steve for helping, my dad, my mum, and a big thanks to sorry,
I can see them in the background.
Alan McIntosh for helping fix my bikes and everything, and my family who are all making me laugh.
Big smile on the face of the new champion of 2012, but there's 3 riders going for 2nd. For now though, from myself, Steve Day and Grace Webb, it's goodbye.